There are a lot of iterations of the speedy bags I've seen in this collection, and it's Pharrell does love a speedy bag, doesn't he? He loves a speedy bag.
Bro, I hate pre-fall. I hate resort. They're all filler collections. Like, I hate that we even have to talk about them. They're all they're boring, bro. They're so boring. Like, even the way, no, okay, let's put it like this. Oh, let's put it like this for context. I was at LV the day before this collection was put on the runway. The assistants at the store didn't even know there was a collection being shown.
Wait, the assistants at the store didn't know there was a collection
The assistants
being shown?
at the store did not know, and I'm talking 3 different people did not know that there was a collection being revealed the next day. So it's just filler. Like, it really is just filler. They were telling me,
Wow.
"Oh no, the next show's in January." I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure there's a show tomorrow, like in Hong Kong." Because I saw apparently the location they use is like really special in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And I'd seen loads of like press about, "Oh, LV have secured this location, blah 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 blah." So I was telling them like, "Oh yeah, I think there's a show tomorrow." They're like, "Nah, the next one is January."
Wow. So they don't even consider the pre-fall collection as a thing. That's insane.
I think as well, like right now, because what I was discussing with some of the staff there is that like they're essentially playing catch up. Because obviously Pharrell was hired in February and showed a show 4 months later, when traditionally designers are probably working, 8 to 12 months ahead of when their show is released. So I think for the next maybe max 6 more months, they're playing catch up to, be at a pace where they can work a whole year in advance.
Right.
That's what my guess is. And I think that shows in this collection, personally.
Yeah. Because, do you know what this collection reminds me of? Because from a journalist, like, well, first of all, it does remind me of Kenzo, which I was going to say, which is funny because obviously Pharrell and Nigo work together. And I have seen a lot of people say that the more that you see some of Pharrell's work, or the more you realize that with a lot of stuff that Pharrell has done, Nigo had a massive design influence in how that, like the outcome of it, because it's almost like a lot of Pharrell's creations are almost through the lens of like Nigo, which is why it ends up looking similar all the time. But also, apart from that, it also looks like, when you design a really commercial collection, and as a designer, like you're thinking to yourself, okay, what can I do to give it some narrative? Okay, cool. We're going to put sailor hats in some of the looks. We're going to put fisherman sandals in some of the looks. And then we're just going to make it a nautical inspiration. That is literally how it comes across.
Yeah, like to me, especially because so Pharrell's whole thing at the moment anyway, so far his time at LV has been, making clothes essentially that he would wear and then marketing that to us as the public. So again, for me, that's what I got here. Like lots of the looks just look like things he would wear, and then he's found a way to, spin it to be more sellable and more commercial. I think this show, I mean, it's just pre-fall or whatever, but like this show is way less interesting than his debut.
Yeah, of course. And his debut collection has grown on me. I'm still not a fan of it conceptually, but seeing some of the garments, like details up close. There's someone that works for LV that I was DMing on IG. I remember I was telling you about this, Micah, and he was showing me like all the pieces and all the details, which you don't get to see unless you're close up. Like, you can't see like the
that's something I will
details
say,
and
like
all that stuff. He's done a lot of work on the details. I'll give him the credit, and it's actually more interesting than I gave it credit for the first time seeing it.
It's a double-edged sword though, because so I think it was I can't remember when we were last talking about this. I think it was 2 weeks ago. The same day we were talking about this, I got invited to go and look at a lot of the pieces in person. So I've seen a lot of his debut collection in person. And don't get me wrong, the details are like insane. Like they've really stepped up. You can see that it seems like they're working at a higher quality level than they were before. But the
Which
prices
is
also reflect that.
it's refreshing though, I was gonna say, because a lot of brands, like I talk about the fact that their quality is dwindling, but it almost seems like when you look at the details and you see these garments up close, they're actually focusing on quality for
But
once.
then
It's like,
if you're increasing
thank
the prices by
goodness.
as much as they are, it's kind of like jeans, bro. The jeans are like 2.7 grand now.
Yeah,
And they used
insane.
to be, you know, 1.5, 1.7. So like stuff is expensive now. And like, yeah, you are getting better quality, but like, you know, if I'm spending 3K on a pair of jeans, think about all the other brands that I could get my bank for buck at.
Yeah, and obviously them increasing these prices, because one, they're increasing them by so much, it's insane. But two, everyone knows these garments don't cost the brands to make, even when they make it super high quality. Because ultimately,
Mm,
if you're a Louis Vuitton under LVMH, you own your own factories. You basically own you vertically integrated the whole process,
mm.
which means that it's literally going to cost you tiny amounts of money to make any of these garments. So it's really just a cash grab, them like hiking these prices. It's not because,
Mm.
oh, what it cost us more to make the quality better. No, you literally own the factories, you own the suppliers, you own the whole thing.
Like at the moment, brands, there's a specific group of brands that are really trying to cater to a different audience entirely. And kind of like, I mean, if you have, you know, commercial fashion here and then high fashion here, they're trying to introduce kind of like a Uber level of fashion, like a super luxury almost. And that's what like
Yeah.
Hermes are marketing towards. And Vuitton are trying to do the same thing essentially, where like they because they found, especially at this time during the recession and things like that, they found they're gonna make more money focusing to selling to their top 5%, 1% clients, as opposed to trying to cater to us as the general audience. So now they're just making, you know, these bags that are quite literally £10,000
Hmm.
that they never ever even considered making before, because that's the new demographic they're trying to market towards, and that's who they want to sell to. So I mean, we're
Hmm.
only going to see the prices go up a lot, and we're going to see the the types of clothes that are conceptualized. You're going to be able to visibly see going forward at LV that it's marketed to a much richer consumer. You'll see it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
across the next like 3 collections, you'll see it a lot. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. I think the clothes are cool, but like, you know, I'm
Yeah,
not
I've
a
spoken about that.
multi-billionaire,
Like,
so
yeah, I've spoken about like brands kind of feeling like the luxury part of it is being watered down. So them hiking their prices to try and realign with a luxury customer base is kind of part of the reason why they're hiking these prices. It's kind of interesting. Um, but you know, I
but
mean,
I don't even think I don't
if
think
people want to pay for that, they can pay for that. I mean, geez, it's going to get to the point where, because I have this dream of like getting a custom suit from Savile Row, right? So I'm
mm,
always looking at how much it costs to get a custom suit from Savile Row, and it's getting to the point where a blazer from the Row costs the same as getting a custom suit from Savile Row, and I'm just like, in what world are you going to spend Savile Row money on a ready-to-wear, like not bespoke blazer just because it has a brand name on it?
they'll
That's
bespoke it for you to
insanity.
be fair. They'll bespoke it for you to be fair, but it won't hit the
Stop.
same. But they will
Stop.
do it.
A Savile Row tailor versus flipping like the Olsen. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop.
But you know, I think I'm expecting. Wait, so what season is about to show? In January, they're showing fall winter 24. I think for me, I think it's gonna be around spring summer 25 collection when we see like Pharrell really, you know, set into his own gear, get into stride, and hopefully the collections are like better. But like, you know,
Right.
all we can do is hope, innit?
Someone said something earlier that I thought was hilarious. Someone said that apparently people were saying that this collection was inspired by J Balvin. J Balvin was a major source of inspiration for the Hawaiian suit. That's insane. I mean, that is how J Balvin dresses, though. No cap.
Yeah,
so
fair. That's funny.
That is how he dresses. This YouTube channel runs on your support. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon. You'll gain access to exclusive content that includes everything from my Patreon podcast, where I give a behind-the-scenes insight into the fashion industry, as well as a fashion book club, where I review my favorite fashion books. You can also check out my fashion ebook, which highlights the best fashion journalists to follow, definitions of common fashion terminology, and how to determine what a good source of fashion information is. The links to everything are in the description below.